Adobe is one of our drone service providers who is helping us with collection of aerial imagery in times of emergencies and during the preparedness. So this project is an example on where we use
Hello, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to COP28 UAE. Welcome to UAE. And if you are not residents in Dubai, then welcome to Dubai as well. We are very pleased to have you today here and talk to a group of people from different countries in the world, looking to see what an oil and gas company does and how it contributes to net zero, which is the main objective why all of us, the whole world, is here today. Okay, so today we'll talk about SNOC'S journey to net zero, and we are planning to present our success story towards net zero. So Sharjah National Oil Corporation is SNOC, SNOC, Sharjah National Oil Corporation. We are located here in UAE. COP28 is taking place here in Dubai, so all of us are here. And SNOC is just nearby, 1 hour drive from, or less than 1 hour drive from this place to our headquarters in Sharjah. So we are talking to you from SNOC, which is very close to the heart of this event. So Sharjah National Oil Corporation, SNOC, is the executive oil and gas arm for the Emirate of Sharjah. As you can see, it's actually located in the center of Sharjah, and it has a wide portfolio. Different, sorry, the pointer doesn't work on the screen. So different gas fields are producing and managed through SNOC, and they deliver their production to the center of Sharjah, where our processing facility, 700 million standard cubic feet per day, is located, as you can see here. So there we are managing from this center a wide portfolio of hydrocarbons from production of the gas. It's mainly a gas field. We manage the gas production, delivery to Sharjah Electricity and Water Authority for the power generation. We manage our LPG portfolio. We have LPG blending production from and sales to the local market from the processing plant. And also we have pipelines going to our LPG and condensate terminals located 30 kilometers away from the processing plant. And as you can see, we are located in the center of a network, huge network, sales gas network connecting Sharjah to the Northern Emirates. So this is a SNOC, and from here we are going to take further our discussions. So COP28, as you know, the Conference of Parties, it is a climate-focused conference. But yet, SNOC, the oil and gas, is here. And in the minds of a lot of people who are, especially who are not from the oil and gas industry, they always ask, how do you relate oil and gas to net zero? How do you relate fossil fuel producing industry to the objective of going net zero on carbon? And today, this is why we are here, and we are going to reveal and discuss this further to you. So, as you can see, this person here represents the globe. Everyone who's mainly not from the oil and gas industry. If anyone not from the oil and gas industry, can you raise your hand? Okay, we have you, which is great. So I hope I will be able to connect to you through today's presentation. So the world is trying to balance net zero and oil and gas industry So far, what I can see, a lot of perceptions. The net zero actually is heavier in the scale. And today we will try to see if we can balance it out or not. So to see if we can balance it out or not, I'm going to rotate the way you are looking at the whole concept. So let's rotate it and look at it from a different angle. So here again, the whole word is trying to balance it out. And there are three different main aspects that usually when you want to look at the contribution to net zero, you need to look at. First, what do you do to the globe to support net zero? This is the first aspect, first question mark you can see here. And then you on your own operations, can you be net zero or not? And then third, what is your social responsibility? What do you do to societies to support the concept of net zero? So let's look at each of these three concepts. So oil and gas contribution to the global net zero pathway. Natural gas is the cleanest fossil fuel. Look at this graph. This is basically from the researches that shows that natural gas is 50% less than coal in emitting CO2. So we know that in the past, coal was maybe more a basic or more source of energy supply in a lot of the industry. Now we can see a lot of countries are shifting from coal. UAE is one of them, has shifted a long time ago, but still a lot of other countries, they are actually dependent on coal still to provide energy until today. And if you want to shift to net zero, you don't have to do the one complete jump from coal to renewables if your renewables are still not available, but your natural gas is available. So if the world works on better delivery of natural gas to these locations or areas where they don't have it, they can support them in reducing their CO2 emissions at least by 50%. So this is a good step, something we have to appreciate for the oil and gas industry. Another point is that natural gas is the feed for, the feedstock for blue hydrogen production. Thank you. And we know that hydrogen is one of the main things that will support in the transition to renewables. Green hydrogen is not ready yet. It's very expensive. You know this. While blue hydrogen is affordable. However, we know that in order for blue hydrogen to support net zero, you have to capture CO2 coming out of the process and inject it or dispose it somewhere. And here we can see the third support that oil and gas industry can support. So oil and gas, they own depleted reservoirs. SNOC is a good example. We own one of the huge depleted gas fields that is geologically very suitable for sequestrating CO2. So that goes along and supports the blue hydrogen objective. Plus, we have the infrastructure ready already, so it is less cost into that. And we have the know-how, we have the knowledge. So this is another advantage or strength point we can take from the oil and gas industry. Now, something I like to highlight. We all talk about renewables, cleaner energy sources, and so on. But we know all that we are not ready. We are not ready now to have 100% shift to renewables. And if you decide now to go and cut your fossil fuel production, imagine this, no fossil fuel at all. You will not be able to move from Expo back to your homes. Finish, you are all stuck here. Your family's children will be calling you. We are running out of the batteries of our mobiles. We don't have electricity. It's too hot. Thanks God it's December, but in June, definitely they cannot. They will be crying. Now, your children also will not be able to go to their schools. They cannot study at night. Basically, it's going to be a catastrophe. We have seen examples, very recent examples in some areas of the region where they had shortage in natural gas. What happened to them? There was a crisis in energy supply in some regions in the world recently. So cutting fossil fuel is not the solution. The solution is to work on finding the alternative. Once you are ready, you reduce on your fossil fuel. Until that time, you have to use it wisely. So it helps, so natural gas helps the smooth transition towards renewable energy while maintaining energy security. Also, like we at SNOC, we support the researches in renewable energy, and this is another thing that the oil and gas can contribute with towards net zero. So now we have answered the first one. Let's look at the other two. How do you become net zero on your own operation? Plus, what is your contribution to societies? Now, to answer these two questions, I'll take you through SNOC's specific examples in achieving this. This is SNOC. I thought I will be neutral, so I put it blue, because we are not yet completely net zero. So I'm blue because we are like blue hydrogen going towards green. So this is a SNOC, and it recognizes that net zero objective is a journey. It's never one step, it's a journey. And in order to know where you are going, you have to set a target. So SNOC first thing is actually setting its target towards net zero. I want to be net zero in 2032 in my operations in scopes 1 and 2 for GHG. So this is the first step here. Now, the second thing is we need to start taking actions. Let's start with the first thing. Let's be aligned to the announcement by COP28 presidency yesterday. They said the oil and gas will accelerate decarbonization, and we had a charter which has been signed by the major oil and gas companies. SNOC was one of the first organizations to commit and happily sign this charter. So what the charter is talking about, the first thing is methane emissions, flare emissions as well reduction. So here, when we talk about methane or flare emissions reduction, I'm very proud to say that operations in Sharjah has started this journey long time ago. And what I have done, I took this graph, you can see methane GHG reduction. I took it as it is, copy-paste, from 2003 report issued for the performance of the operations in Sharjah. It talks about how the emissions of GHG and methane were reduced from 1998 to 2003. Yellow is for methane, the parts for yellow, and the blue is the GHG, total GHG. So the journey started in 1998. Several actions were taken. So they did a very focused campaign to check where the leaks are, and they cut them off. That supported to reduce the flare by 70% at that time. And then they focused on methane emissions, and there they have cut with their campaigns after doing some projects to convert methane venting to atmosphere to flare and so on. They were successful to reduce methane emissions by 88%. And then they worked on optimizing the units and how they run them. So extra standby and redundancy is not always good. This has played a role in saving fuel gas and emissions in total. They metered the flares. If you don't meter your flares, you don't know what you are doing. They metered their flares, and then they started establishing GHG reporting in 1999. So actually, every quarter since 1999, the operations are producing their GHG reporting and reviewing them internally. So where are we today if this happened in 2003? Today, as we stand here, we have 91% flaring or emissions levels compared to 1998 for flare emissions. What happened? What did we do recently? Please be patient. I'll take you through the coming slides. So back to our journey. Next step. In 2019, we started using solar power to produce or to give the power requirement for our LPG terminal. And that solar power equated to 15% of our total power need for that LPG terminal. So this again played a role in reducing emissions from LPG terminal. And then we thought, okay, as we are working on our own actions, are we engaging you? Are we engaging people? Are we engaging our families? Are we engaging the society? Are we doing this or not? Where is our social responsibility? We should work on both side by side. So we said, okay, let's start our education campaign. And we called it Net Zero in SNOC and Beyond to You. After this presentation, there is an exam to see who actually focused very well with us. Because the purpose of today's presentation is not just to present, is not to say SNOC has done this. This is part of our education campaign. We need to connect to you. We need to have the right understanding. We need to work together. And that's why I want as much people as possible, as many people as possible, and also I appreciate your focus with us. So let's see what they have done. First, SNOC started with its own employees. Then it cascaded the campaign of education to the families of the employees, and then it went out to the society. So in 6 months, focused program started in end of 2022 and finished or completed in 2023. This is for the focus programs, though we still have campaigns that are ongoing. In that 6 months, we have approached at least 6 academic institutes and different entities with our education campaign. And this has resulted in more than 900 participants in less than 6 months program. And when we approached these people and trained them and talked to them, we were very much focusing on assuring that these people will work as beacons to get and carry out the influence to the rest of the society. So the 6 months program did not result only on 900 people getting educated or knowing what's happening in the world, but inshallah, we hope that the effect has been taken further to more people. So let's go back to our journey. GHG performance to public. Now, we said we want to become net zero on 2032, but you don't know how good or bad we are performing. So it is your right to know where we are today, and it is also a very important and essential step for any organization to set the baseline for its performance and measure the performance against it. And this is what we did in our GHG performance reporting. So we have established 2 years reports, 2021 and 2022. 2021 is the base year. So we will measure our performance against it. And this report, in terms of issuance, it aligns with the pledge that was initiated by the Ministry of Climate Change and signed by SNOC in February. The content of the report and the way the methodology, the reporting complies with the international standards. And very important to say that the performance was not measured against general factors of emissions. It was reporting specific SNOC's operations based on what type of fuel gas is being used, the composition, the efficiency of equipment. The report covers complete scopes 1 and 2, and it details the efficiency of energy for every consumer. So this graph, you can read about it in our reports, which are now available to you. And it's very important to say that our reports was very much committing to transparency. So we get a quality assurance review and audit by a credible third party who awarded us an independent assurance to the information and methodology in our reports for each of these 2 years, attached to each. And we shared the information to you as a public. So this GHG performance, why it's important? Why sharing it is important. As I said, we are doing this since 1999. The step change now is, or the difference is that we are sharing openly our information and data to you. Why this is important? Because it ensures and confirms our industry-wide transparency, and it will allow the collaboration of us, SNOC, with different agencies, environmental, governmental, and so on, and in our and other industries, such as the hard-to-abate industries. So with them producing their reports, us producing our reports, understanding the areas where each of us needs support, this opens the door for further collaboration, which is very important, and this is one of the key messages of COP28 UAE. Back to our journey. Solar plant 60 megawatt. We are very proud to say that we, with our joint venture Masdar, have announced the project, which is under execution, to be commissioned end of next year or early year after, to produce 60 megawatt, which will make SNOC power completely green. So SNOC complete power for its gas processing plant or different facilities, and even the headquarters eventually will go completely green with this project. Following that, towards net zero, we have three main actions. Electrification. So we are going to electrify units that depend on fuel gas using our green power. We are going to continue working on our carbon sequestration plans. And then we are going to work on hydrogen production. So talking about carbon sequestration plans, which is a very important and essential thing for SNOC, I want to take you through the current plans which we have in SNOC for carbon sequestration. So SNOC actually has different points that allows it to become the CCS hub in Sharjah Emirate, and even for the Northern Emirates as well. It has several strength points, which I'll take you through one by one. The first and important thing is that we have the capacity for your CO2. So I don't know which industries you are from, but especially the hard-to-abate industry, they have the problem is, okay, even if I put facility to capture CO2, where do I send it to? So SNOC has the capacity underground, huge capacity to take your CO2. So please send it to us. Now the other thing is, if you decide to send it to us, don't worry, you will not invest a lot of money. You are very close to us. Because we know we cannot break our economics for our businesses. So we are worried about this as you are. And we assure you that if you see this circle where SNOC facility is, it is actually less than 100 kilometers away for 30% of CO2 emissions in the whole UAE. So we are close to you, not much of investments required for the infrastructure or for CO2 pipelines. If you don't consider that we have already a huge infrastructure in place, the one that I showed you in the first slide, that was for a purpose. So there is already available pipeline infrastructure that might support in that transport as well. So we are working very hard on the studies, feasibility studies. We are already in advanced stages. I have here a great team from the reservoir side where they are conducting these studies. We believe in collaboration. We had several studies with different partners, and the latest MOU signed with Sumitomo for the full feasibility study, as you can see. The CCS definitely is a required thing. It will be an enabler for a lot of other industries. It will support natural gas processing, like SNOC, for example, capturing CO2, injecting it down underground in order to achieve net zero. It supports power generation, SIWA, for example, iron and steel, hard-to-abate industries, including cement, hydrogen production, something that is playing a role, and the role is growing more and more in the whole mix of renewable energy. Ammonia. So CCS is definitely very important for the transition. And people need to know how to work, start to work and capitalize on that for their net zero path. There are different enablers that can support this. You can see we need to align the different enablers together. And this is why we have all of you here, because this is possible with us working with you in addition to the government support. The first enabler starts with the government support and contribution. We need to have mechanisms, we need to have policies, and then financing mechanisms, then the technology and infrastructure, and the climate-driven initiatives and mechanisms. With all of these together, we can start. So you see the blinking green point? This is where SNOC is located on the map. So we are classified now as early stage project. You can see it is not impossible. We have advanced stage operational CCS happening already in Abu Dhabi. So this is possible if we work all together. So let's look back at our scale, where we are, and let's drive or conclude or draw together the main highlights from today's talk. So our key highlight to all of you is that we are committed to UAE's net zero target and further accelerating it, inshallah, with our ambitious goal, target to 2032. We believe that transparency and collaboration is the key driver for this. We have looked now at these three different pillars for net zero and oil and gas balancing. And let's see. Well, I didn't do anything. It balanced by itself. So the three pillars were successfully audited, confirmed as strong enough. And as we can see, if we work all together to continue and achieve the rest of plans like CCS, hydrogen production, technology, support, funding of renewable resources, we will be definitely able to reach this stage. Here from COP28 UAE SNOC, we thank you very much. And we together, this is one hand is us, one hand is you. We thank you very much. And I intentionally completed my talk 2-3 minutes earlier because you have to answer the questions of the exam. And the answers of your questions will be by questions back to us. So we want to get questions from you because, as I said, we are openly talking to you and we want to hear back from you as well. So if anyone has any question, please feel free to share it.
Good afternoon. I'm a mechanical engineer from Australia. I was wondering, at the moment, you've said that 15% of your power generation for your LNG plant, or your LPG plant, it's been 15, so it's solar's producing 15% of your plant at the moment.
For the facilities of LPG terminal.
Yep. What are the 85%? Is that coming from coal, or what does that look like? As well as, I think you said 60 megawatts is in phase out, and how does that look?
Okay, thank you very much. So the rest of the 15%, they are coming from, the source is basically natural gas. So natural gas is used to produce power for the gas processing plant in Saj'a. And it is used to produce power for the whole Emirate of Sharjah by Siwa. And we take electricity for the LPG terminal from Siwa. But at the end, it is actually through natural gas. Coal is not an equation at all for SNOC, not in the equation. Actually, we are a producer of natural gas, the cleanest fossil fuel, and we use it as a source. Now, for the 60 megawatt, that plant is located in the Saj'a industrial area within our land for Saj'a plant, and it will provide the whole power requirement for SNOC, so for Saj'a plant. So we will shut down our power generation from fuel gas. We will use our green power, and the excess power is connected to the grid for SIWA, and this is a very great example of collaboration. So SNOC with SIWA work together, and they have set the plan, and the excess power, green power, is connected to the grid. During night, we'll take some of it back to power the facility, the processing facility, and the rest is to the grid. Thank you. Any other question? You are allowed to ask only if your questions are difficult. And the more difficult the question, it means the more, okay. So since there are no more questions, one more? Can we take one last? One last.
You also said that the plan by 2032 is to go zero emissions. And I mean, everyone's kind of contributing that worldwide. You've said that you'd like to go from blue to green hydrogen. It's expensive, etc. So what's your plan at the moment? I understand that you've got LNG, and then that is pretty much what happens. More or less, my question is, what happens if that runs out before 2032? The LNG runs out before 2032 and the hydrogen technology isn't here.
The net zero, the answer actually goes back to the word net zero. It says net. It means we will not go zero. We'll still be emitting. And it is not necessary that our final solution is hydrogen production. It might be one part of the solution, like a part of the solution. The thing is that we are not aiming for absolute zero. We'll still be emitting somewhere else. However, we will find a way to make sure that our other objectives and initiatives are offsetting that, so that you balance it. So it might be through hydrogen, because we are still working on it. We have 9 years to complete this. It might be, but what I can say to you as a firm, confirmed answer, the solution is not in one only. It's not only in hydrogen production, not only in solar power or other or CCS. We believe that all of them together, they play a role. So carbon capture, possibly blue hydrogen. We might support green hydrogen as well through our solar expansion and solar plants. This is very possible, something also we are looking at. So it is a mix, but we will not stop producing natural gas immediately, because a lot of other areas in the world requires it. But we are aiming for net zero. So I finished, I ran out of time. Thank you very much. It was lovely being with you, and hopefully we can work all together for a successful future cleaner climate. Thank you. Yes, I want to invite also my team for the group photo.